Hey, good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 904. Sunday, June 11th. Wow. June 11th. What's happening? Good morning. Foggy. Hey, we got some rain. We got actual rain last night. I honestly don't remember the last time we've had any type of precipitation. It's been a month, at least a month. So I think it was early May when we last had rain. I mean, my grass is like crunchy, brown and crunchy, and I refuse to pay to water it. Um, so we got some rain last. It's cloudy. I love it. I love it. Isn't that we love 80 and sunny? Oh, I love 80 and sunny every day, like San Diego. We've had like pretty much 80 and sunny every day for a month, and it's like, just give me some clouds and rain. I need some rain in my life. So does the yards. So we got a little rain last night. That was much needed. And I want some rain just to keep me honest in terms of keeping me in this basement shipping cards so I don't get the urge to go outside and play in the sun. So it actually did have a busy Saturday, out and about doing a little shop. Well, more window shopping. I don't think we bought anything yesterday, but we stopped at multiple places. We're shopping for deck furniture and TVs, so it's fun stuff. It's not not fun stuff. It's fun stuff to shop for. So first we went to Costco and looked at TVs and shelves. They have some of those. They have some really heavy duty shelves, like heavier duty than these, which we have a couple in the other part of the basement. But I don't want those for my cards. I want these because these are strong enough, little cheaper. I don't need the heavy duty cards, especially shelves, especially when it's going to be like basically commons. So I need sturdy shelves, but not like the best of the best. So we looked at TVs at Costco. I think we found one for our living room. So we need to buy a TV for our living room and my rec room in the basement. So I'm gonna get an 85-inch for my rec room. And they had some at Costco. Did we go to Best? I don't think we ended up going to Best Buy. We're gonna end up going to Best Buy and see what their prices are as well. So we looked at TVs at Costco, shelves. Oh, and there's a furniture set at Costco also. And it's like, we're going to have to, like, we can't fit any of this in our cars. We're going to have to, like, so we're looking at like, it's like $300 extra to get it delivered. And it's like, is it worth, it's like, I mean, we would have to like rent, and it's only like $20 to rent from Menards, but you have to go to Menards, you have to rent the freaking truck, drive it, and then you have to haul the damn TV yourself, take the truck back. That's more than just $20. But it's like this, 320 in my time and sweat equity. Or we call our handyman and he does it. And maybe that's somewhere in the middle where he does all the work and it's less than 300. So that's the angle we're looking at. And then also if I want, because I need like 10 shelf units, and like for the 7th time, I've told my wife, I've measured it out. And I told her, I'm like, I need like 10 of these. And she's like, do you know if 10 will fit? I'm like, 14 will fit in my basement. In just my card room, I can fit 14 of these things. I measured it out. When did you measure it out? Well, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Well, how did you measure it out? Because we have 3 of them in there. And I moved them around. So that's where we're at. So I need to get those. So then we went to, where did we go from Costco? Oh, then we went to Bruce Company, which is like to show me. My wife and my mother-in-law went earlier this week and actually bought some furniture. So I went and sat on it. I'm like, yeah, it's nice. And my wife never believes me when I say these things. And she'll be like, well, what do you think? What do you think it looks? How do you think it looks? I'm like, yeah, it looks nice. And she's like, really? I'm like, well, it doesn't look like shit. It's like, yes, it looks nice. Really? Yes. Are you just saying that to appease me? Maybe at this point, yes. My initial answer was honest. Now I'm starting to rethink that. So then from there, we went to another place, and they had like for a deck table, and Jesus H, that was freaking expensive. And so the debate we had was, it's nice and it's comfortable. We currently have like a patio outdoor, like it can just, it's like brass or something. It's freaking heavy duty, but it's uncomfortable as hell. I don't think we've used it in 2 years. So the chance, it's like, my wife's like, well, for like half the price, we can get something from Costco, but we can't sit in it because it's online only. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the risk we take. What if it's as uncomfortable as the current set we have? Why don't we just use our current set and not spend any money? So that's the give and take we have here. Spend a lot of money for something we know is comfortable and we'll use, and it's nice and we like it. Spend half the amount of money for something that we don't know, and it might be just as nice, but it could be just as bad as what we currently have, which we could just keep and not spend any money. So that's the battle. From there, that might have been the last place we stopped. Oh no, we stopped at Patio Pleasures. Sounds kinky. Patio Pleasures. There was nothing pleasurable about Patio Pleasures, and all of their stuff is like the basically like the what's the fake wood stuff. So, which we don't want. So they didn't have anything, and then we went to the house. We measured off. So what did I tell my wife about the TV in the we have huge ceilings. We don't want like a small TV in the living room because of the giant ceiling. Said it's going to look goofy. Well, you're just saying that because you want a big TV. Well, of course I am. But I'm also making some sense here. You don't want a small TV in a big room. But yes, I also want a big TV. So we took some baseball card tape. This stuff, John's favorite. Took some of that. Taped off what the sizes. I think it was between like a 65 and a 77. And the 65 looks way too small. Way too small. So we're going to go with the 77 there. I had a dream last night. So when we got there, one of the doors was open. I had a dream last night that our house got broken into. So now I'm like, need to go check. But everything, we locked everything up. So adventures in shop. I hate shopping, but even fun stuff. Like I get it, like for fun stuff like TVs, I'm excited. Let's go shop for TVs. But then there's a tipping point and it becomes not fun and I start to hate it. It's like, okay, I'm done. And I think my wife senses this. We've been together long enough where she knows I'm not in the mood to go to Best Buy. So let's just skip Best Buy and call it a day. So that was yesterday's fun. shopping for TVs and outdoor furniture. Angel Baby's with us. What's up? Good morning to you. He's got his coffee. Yeah, I'm a little based on, I say my weekend. I'm like, I'll go on between 8 and 8:30. I don't have a specific start time on weekends. So it might be 7 o'clock. It might be 9 o'clock. But usually it's between 8 and 8:30 Central Time. Yesterday was 8:45. So I missed it by 15 minutes. Today was 7:45. I missed it by 15 minutes. So, but if I started saying 7:45 to 8:45, and then I'd probably start going on at 7:30 and 9. So 8 and 8:30, nice little approximate start time for the weekend. ATX, what's up? Good morning to you. Herman in the house. ATX just almost got an inch and a half 2 nights ago. I hope you're talking about the rain. That's what she said. Brian Wolf, good morning. Brian Wolf wants those cards bad. Good morning to Brian. I passed on the vintage lot. I'm going to tell you why. I passed. Brian, good morning. Brian K. Passed on vintage because you want that shiny new stuff that makes your hand shake. That is not correct. No. In fact, I really wanted this vintage lot. I really did. But there's a reason why I did not buy. There's a reason why I did not buy. That rhymes. I like that. There's a reason why I did. That could be a song, a baseball card song. The reason why I did not buy. Donald Davis, good morning. Herman says it's raining here all day. Been a while since we've had much. Yeah, I've got to go look. I've tried to look. I don't know where. Back when I worked in radio, I could find like weather stats so easy. And now I can find baseball stats real easy, but weather stats, it's a little hard to come by. Like I want to see, so weather.gov was like our go-to because it's like the official National Weather Service. So let's type in my zip code here. And let's see, is there a way to find our precipitation? No, not that I can find. I'm sure it's on here somewhere. It's just so damn hard to find. Anyway, we got some rain. It was nice. Where are we at? ATX got a new job at a card shop starting Monday. Congrats. That sounds fun. Herman says, but my lawnmower has been in the shop for a week. That's not good. That is not good. John says, I need an answer to a question regarding 2023 Heritage. You've got questions. We've got answers. Good morning, Cooter. We are enjoying all the rain we're having because in a month it will be 105 and everything will be dead. And that's going to be kind of the opposite. Right now, it's been like 80 to 90 here and everything's dead now. And then we're probably going to go in a stretch where it's going to rain frickin' every day. And then we're going to be green again. ATX says Walmart has good sales occasionally on open box TVs. Brian says, serious question. At 85 inches, that's what she said. Why not just get a projector? I don't know. I've never had a projector. That's why. It's the fear of the unknown. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Good morning, Andy Mack. What's happening? Zach and Porter, good morning to you. Top of the morning, Tom. East Coast Tom in the house. Zach and Porter says, after every shopping event, I expect him to tell his buyers and show dealers the price of the brick is going up. However, I recognize real estate sales paid for this home, not Barry Larkin rookies. That is absolutely correct. The price of the brick is going up. JW, what's up? Where are we at? Good morning. The professor was on it last night. Yes. Hopefully the Cubs can keep the momentum going. Don't forget to head over to First and hit that like button. Thank you. So, so I was actually watching, my wife was actually working on a real estate deal last night. We were watching, based on a true story. We finished it last night and it ended. And then all of a sudden, like, cause we kind of don't pay attention when we're watching TV, like She's doing her real estate stuff, and I'm talking about butt rock on Twitter. And all of a sudden, a movie starts playing, and we both look up, what is this? Did it skip the last episode? We watched the last episode, and it ended on a cliffhanger. So I won't share, but it's a really good show. It's called Based on a True Story. It's true crime. It's very light. For being a very dark subject, it's a light-hearted show. I enjoyed it a lot. So check it out. It's on Peacock. So, in fact, I think we were watching, it might have been the last episode or right before the last, I fell asleep on the couch Friday night, so we had to watch that over. My wife gets a work call. So she goes in my office, and then she comes out of my office, and she goes, I can't wait to have my office back, because it was originally, and it still is, it's basically the office upstairs that is now my office is still in her decor. So sometimes when I'm on podcasts and stuff, if you see that background, it's that's a weird background because it's my kind of office. My shit. Well, only some of my shit's in there. Most of the shit's my wife's. I'm you have an office. We turned one of the bedrooms upstairs into her office during the pandemic. And she's yeah, but it's upstairs, and that's annoying. Okay. So I flipped it on to, I'm oh, the Cubs are on, because my Cubs chat was, Mervis finally hit a home run. And the chat was buzzing. So I turned the TV on. I'm I'll just watch something on YouTube TV. Well, hey, the Cubs game was on Fox, so I didn't have to, because I don't think I've updated that TV to have MLB Network. There's a reason why it was on that TV, but we ran out of space or something. We had to delete a bunch of apps, which was really freaking annoying. In fact, I had to do it on my TV down here in the rec room when I had COVID. That was a bitch, because all you want to do is lay on the freaking couch and watch TV. And every freaking 5 seconds, you have to delete shit. I delete shit. I deleted every freaking app on that goddamn TV, and it still wouldn't let me watch TV. You've got too much. I had to freaking Google, with COVID, feeling like shit, how to freaking get my TV. Not so damn smart, is it? That TV, not so smart. So guess what? I did whatever the frick I did. And then I deleted every goddamn app I had before. And it freaking works fine. I don't get it. So anyway, that's why MLB Networks now, or MLB TV, is not on my upstairs TV. But since it was on Fox, I watched it. And we're in the 6th inning. And somebody in the chat mentions, boy, Hendricks is pitching lights out tonight. And somebody goes, shh. And that is the baseball term definition of shut the F up. He's throwing a no-hitter. Because some people don't step on cracks. And what else is bad luck? Crossing a black cat. Superstitious about no-hitters. I'm not. I used to be superstitious. Now I'm not. So Kyle Hendricks threw, what do you go, 7 2/3 of a no-hitter, I think? Yeah, he was 4 outs away from a no-hitter. It's a great game. I think he went 8 innings, 1 hit. So great game. I don't care. And the reason, and I think I've talked about it, because Drew Smyly almost threw a no-hitter for the Cubs earlier this year. How about that? The Cubs have have been 4 or 5 outs away from a no-hitter twice this season, but yet they haven't been. This offense is piss poor as it has not been no-hit. It's freaking crazy. And as bad as the pitching has been in many of the games, it's backwards. So I'm not superstitious about no-hitters, because a broadcaster that mentions it on the radio or on the TV is not going to affect the performance of a pitcher on the mound. It's just stupid. I think it's stupid. Just freaking tweet about it. scream it in the air, celebrate it. It's a goddamn no-hitter. Just say it. And for an announcer, and that's my background in broadcasting, like our job, if I'm listening to a game, if I turn the game on in the 6th inning, I want to know if Kyle Hendricks is throwing a no-hitter. And if a radio play-by-play guy is super still, oh, we can't talk about the no-hitter, and I turn it on in the 6th inning, and I don't know that there's a no-hitter going on, I'll probably tune out. But if there's a no-hitter, I'm keeping watching, listening, whatever. It's a broadcaster's duty to pass along what's happening in the game, including no-hitters and perfect games. Enough of this superstitious nonsense. Okay, that's my soapbox. Are Cubs fans bringing back the professor for Kyle? I thought that was Maddox. Well, Kyle Hendricks has been nicknamed the professor for a long time. Obviously not as long as Greg Maddux, but Hendricks has been called the professor. I think he was even referred to as the professor during the World Series season back in 2016, which my wife comes back, and I could see the look in her eye when she saw baseball on TV. And I said, I would turn it, but there's Kyle Hendricks is throwing a no-hitter. And she was super excited about that. Not. And I said, and she goes, oh, is that the professor? And I said, very good. She goes, are you going to tweet that? Maybe. I don't think I did. And I said, Kyle Hendricks is the only player left from the 2016 World Series team. And she's like, what? And she's like, they traded Chris? And I'm like, yeah, 2 years ago. And I'm like, Rizzo's gone, and Javi's gone, and Contreras is gone. I'm like, David Ross, he's the manager now, so he's kind of around. Just not as a player. So yeah, Kyle Hendricks, only World Series, which is okay. I'm okay with that. It's been 7 years. It's time to move on. Bears fans still haven't moved on from 1985. Cubs fans, it's time to move on from 2016. We don't want that roster on the field anymore. Angel Baby says he's got his hot coffee and his Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl. Let's see. You missed my soapbox about my smart TV. Good morning, Terry. What's up? I never heard of Maddox being called that. Now I'm curious. I don't either, but I was like really young when Maddox was with the Cubs, and I probably wasn't. And when he was with the Braves, I didn't really pay attention to non-Cubs baseball during the 90s. So, but yeah, I don't remember Maddox being referred to as the professor. Let's see. Mark Marinello's in the house. What's happening? Kyle, good morning. Missed yesterday's shows. My wife found cards at a neighborhood garage sale. Love it. We had our neighborhood had garage sales, but I didn't. I'm lazy with garage sales. I just don't go around to them unless they specifically say like cards. And if they specifically say cards, typically they're like overpriced junk wax. John says, I opened 2 hobby boxes of 2023 Heritage, both bought from Fanatics at the same time. One had a purple chrome in each pack. The other had 0 purple chrome in the box. What is normal? 0 purple chrome is normal. So purple chrome means a hot box. There's 1 box per case that has a purple chrome in each pack. So that is that's basically the case hit box. And what I've found in those purple chrome boxes is typically the hits are better. Like the autograph, like you get an autograph, not just a napkin swatch, at least in my experience in getting those hot boxes. So purple chrome in each pack, that's the hot box. There's 1 per case, 1 box per case. Let's see. Angel Baby's got some sitting on his desk. Happy birthday to Uncle Rich. Yes, it is Uncle Rich's birthday today. And I want to say, I was going to buy a cameo for Uncle Rich, but the person that I was going to buy, I won't name names, you can't like have them do a cameo. They're like offline or whatever. So maybe next year for Uncle Rich's birthday. Let's see. He told everyone today was his birthday on Hobby Hotline. Hobby Hotline was a great show yesterday, and I enjoy it. I think the best Hobby Hotline episodes are when there's engagement with the chat, and there's just conversation. I think that's just my own opinion because that's kind of how I tailor this show, and it's what I like. Like I, as a talking into the microphone guy, enjoy the engagement. I would not enjoy getting in front of this fake microphone. It's not fake. It's just not plugged in. It's a prop. It used to work and then it stopped. Like I would not enjoy turning on the microphone and giving my opinions on Upper Deck's lawsuit and Fanatics. What is Fanatics going to do? And XYZ is the new CEO of Beckett. Like, I don't give a shit about that stuff. So that's kind of like, I'd rather talk about my favorite cereal and my favorite butt rock bands. But I enjoyed yesterday's Hobby Hotline. I always enjoy it when Uncle Rich is on because because Uncle Rich talks about stuff that I enjoy. And that's the thing about content. We all like different things. And I think John mentioned, I don't know if it was in here or if it was on, it might have been in the YouTube, in the Hobby Hotline. Yeah, actually, I think it was on here in the chat yesterday morning where I'm like, I want to hear Uncle Rich tell stories. But I know a lot of people don't like history. Like I love history, especially when it's like pop culture history, baseball card history, sports history. That's my jam. But I've also learned I'm in the minority big time with that. There's not many people that enjoy that stuff. When I was blogging at 1millioncubs.com, I would do like my historical. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the most amazing story ever. And I'd write a blog about it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be huge. And it sucked. Nobody wanted to read it about a fire in a 1922 minor league baseball game, which is a true story. I think it was in Wichita Falls, 1922. Nobody read it. Blogged about the Cubs playing in Moline, and there was something, I can't remember what happened, Moline, Illinois. And, that was like doubly entertaining for me because I grew up near the Quad Cities, and I'm a huge Cubs fan. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like researching and typing away, so giddy. And then nobody reads it. Nobody cares. I'm like very slowly because it's going to freaking burn. It's like this coffee mug. It's like I still have a swig left, but it's cold and I don't want to drink it. And this is too freaking hot. It's doing its job, I guess. Harlan in the house. What's happening? Let's see. Zach says, John, I can't help you there. However, if you put a flashlight to the back of the 1992 top scratch-off game, you can see which circle to scratch. My knowledge stops there. Bo swears more on the day of the Lord than any other day. I feel comfortable on Sunday. Mark says, cracking open a box of 1985 tops. So far, 2 Clemens and a McGuire. Hey, that's a nice box. That's what she said. Cooter, what's up? I would have thrown a no-hitter except you jinxed it. Exactly. Your home is going to be struck by lightning soon. The latrine lip is out of control. If I only had a wrench. If I only had a wrench. There's the birthday boy, Uncle Rich in the house. Happy birthday. Only talk about a no-hitter if your team is the one being no-hit. But what if? Like the reverse jinx? Like, what if, like, I'm going to talk about, I typed in no-hitter last night and both sides were talking about it. So were there more Cubs fans tweeting about it? Were there more Cubs fans tweeting about the no-hitter than Giants fans tweeting about the no-hitter? And so the the Cubs jinx overruled the Giants jinx or anti-jinx. See, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Won't give the spiel, but you all know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. Where are we at? Let's see. Brian says Hendricks is a professor because he went to Dartmouth. Yes, he's a smart dude. Let's see. Kind of became an 85 Tops baseball whore, to be 100% honest, about 5 to 8 years ago. Lots of Clemens cards and several sets. Love the series. 85 is a great set. Love 85. The reason why I love 85 so much isn't the rookie card class, isn't the design, it's the subsets. I love, and it's not the Team USA. I do enjoy the Team USA set, but it's the number 1 draft pick. I love the number 1 draft pick subset. And probably I love it more so because I have a Cub in that set. Sean Dunston, 1982. Drafted on my actual day of birth, June 6th, 1982. Chicago Cubs select out of Brooklyn, New York. Sean Dunston, shortstop. Thank you for the good idea for Hobby Hotline yesterday. As you may have noticed, I was able to keep the show on the more general level instead of the inside baseball game. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, but I know other people enjoy the other stuff, and that's okay. You know, some people enjoy the grading and the inside CEO talk and all that crap, but and here's the thing, and it was and you guys touched on it, and I think I touched on it in the chat. Most people don't know. I mean, and I think Rich actually mentioned this, like 99% of collectors don't give a damn about the CEO of Beckett or Fanatics and all that stuff. And, you know, I think my comment towards that was most people don't even know a hobby community exists on social media. And I learned that from talking with customers and dealers at my card shows, which, by the way, Madison Card Show is this coming Saturday, only 6 days away. So a few tables remain. So that's this Saturday, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, Madison, Wisconsin. And when I started asking people, like, especially like dealers, like I'd take a photo of their booth and all that. And I'd be like, hey, are you on Insta? Are you on Twitter? And they're like, no. And like most of them are like, I have Facebook, but I like just post like my family stuff. And I'm like, oh, I was surprised because I'm so ingrained in the hobby, you know, chats and community and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Like, I just think everybody that sells cards and buys cards is involved. And I have to kind of take a step back and realize that before like 2017, I wasn't. And I was heavily involved in the hobby, buying and selling up until I started the 1 Million Cubs project. And that was kind of my entrance into hobby Twitter. Like, I followed some people, but not to the extent after I started collecting 1 Million Cubs cards. So I get it. Like, you can be hardcore in the hobby and not be at all involved in the YouTube community or the Twitter community or the Facebook or the Instagram or whatever platform it is. And I would say a large majority of collectors are not involved in the hobby community. So then I'm kind of speaking out of both sides of my. So if you are involved in the hobby community, maybe you are interested in some of the inside baseball. If you're involved enough to get in, if you're interested enough to get involved in the hobby social media community, then maybe you are interested in that. And then there's like, even though I don't care about who's employed by what company. Oh, this person left Panini to go work for Fanatics, and this person left Golden Auctions to go work for PSA. I don't care. It's just a job. I don't care. Card show in Eden Prairie, Minnesota today. Ooh, sounds fun. Good luck to anybody that's headed over there. Anybody go to the Midwest Monster this weekend? I'd like to hear. I got to text my buddy Mike to see how it was because I think he went over there. So if anybody went to Midwest Monster, I think in Fishers, Indiana, drop it in the chat. Max says you have a good radio voice. Thank you, Max. I was in radio for how long? 13 years. 13 years. Did a lot of play-by-play. Worked in college athletics. In fact, softball state finals were. I was a little jealous. Softball state finals. My good buddy Lee Hall. If anybody's in the Peoria area knows Lee. Lee's now doing the softball state finals, and he posted a picture. The IHSA is giving him an analyst. I did it for 13 years. 12 or 13. And I had to fly solo every damn 16 games a year for 13 years. All Bo, all the time, IHSA softball state finals. And now, Lee steps in. Hey, we're going to give you a good softball color analyst. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I guess there was a great pitchers duel in one of the championship games yesterday between, I think it was Antioch and Lamont. One of the ladies through 20 had 24 strikeouts, and I think it went 12 innings, 24 strikeouts. And I called some epic pitching matchups. My very first state championship game I called was in, I think, 2008 or 9. Katie Bertelson, United Red Storm, set a then record. And I think the game went 19 innings. Let's check it out. Spring Sports Softball. Got me. Now you got me on a road down memory lane here. State information and results. Past. Let's see. I think it was 09. Oh, yeah, it had to have been 09. 08, 09. 1A. Is this it? Oh, nope, that's team. We want 0809 box score. There we go, baby. 1-0, 19 innings. Oh, it was on my birthday, June 6th, 2009. Katie Bertelson, United Red Storm, sets the all-class strikeout record. 34 strikeouts. 34 strikeouts in a 19-inning game. She went the distance, 18 2/3. They lost, and she was the losing pitcher. They lost to one of my favorite names in Illinois high school, the Cobden Apple Knockers. Cobden Apple Knockers won the state championship 09. There was another great, and I think it was her record. I think was broken in a state championship. I think it was in a semifinal game by what was that girl's name? She was from the St. Louis area. Was she from Alton Marquette? Let's see. Individual pitching and fielding record. State tournament game. Most innings pitched. That was okay. Grace Ballman. Oh, Hardin Calhoun. She struck out 39 in I think that was a semifinal game in 2016. That game went 16 innings. Those were some fun. And Katie went on to play Southern Illinois. Grace went on to pitch at, I think, Kentucky. So those were some fun games. I enjoyed doing softball. I really did. Angel Baby was sitting there watching the Dodgers game. Asked the roomie, do you like Ryne Sandberg? He replied, who is that? I just sat there wide-eyed. Not a baseball fan, I presume. Let's see. Merle says he has a good radio face. I never heard that before, Merle. You got a face for radio. John says, so I got lucky. Thanks. I was a little pissed opening the other non-hot box. Last year, someone had a Donny Osmond one for me. Let's see. Merle says, just like a Cubs fan to say, maybe next year, right? Dan, what's up? Just got back from a Samsung game-winning home run in the bottom of the 10th. Nice. Rich says, I figured it out when doing Hobby Hotline yesterday. You don't talk about inside baseball, but you talk about average everyday events, food talk, new house talk with some hobby stuff tossed in. And that's kind of that's what I like. I like to toss in hobby stuff, which I'm going to talk about today. I passed on a vintage lot yesterday and ducks. Yes, I haven't seen Beverly. Of course, she left her nest where her eggs were massacred by a raccoon. And she's somewhere. Any thoughts about Luis Robert? He seems to have really dropped off. What do you think? I think Luis Robert's one of those guys that, he may turn it around. I don't know what his stats are this year, but I think the hobby is so short attention span where he could become the player everyone thought he would be when his cards were up here. And even if his talent reaches that point, his card prices are still going to be down here because the window's closed. And so he would have to do something absolutely epic to regain those prices of the past. Hobby Hotline isn't story time. There are plenty of other places for that stuff. So what is it for? What is it for, I ask? Good morning, Redbridge. Far as I am concerned, seems I lost my investment on Cody Bellinger. He is, so Cody's running the bases. He is rehabbing down in Arizona. He was running the bases. And so he should hopefully be back in a couple weeks. Flawed Thinker, good morning. John says they say 11 a.m. on a Sunday is the most dangerous day in America. Apparently someone is resting and not watching over all of us. Let's see. Zach wants to know what time zone. I enjoy the shameless plugs by the Hobby Hotline hosts. Maybe I don't. Let's see. John, you are welcome to come back anytime you want to return to Hobby Hotline. A collector's dream. Good morning. John says, I know nothing about 95% of the hobby. I would fail the Hobby Hotline entrance exam at this point. I want Ziggy as a Hobby Hotline host. No one is into it more than he. Of course, he's been blacklisted from Hobby Hotline. Yeah, Ziggy was on Hobby Hotline for a while, and then all of a sudden, he was not there anymore. That was a long time ago, though. Let's see. I know what cards I like to collect and the traders we collect with. I don't know a lot, but I know how to function as a collector in my lane of strictness. It's either that or a serious case of astigmatism. Ziggy would be a great personality to have on there. I agree. Kyle says, I could care less what happens at a grading company, card company, etc. I collect cards for personal reasons, so get very bored with the social media content around corporate hobby topics. Congrats to OU. Great softball season. T206 kid Tony in the house. I didn't go to the Monster, but heard from people that went that it was better. It was better last year. I'm not surprised by that. And a lot of people were way overpriced on their cards. Not surprised by that. And they still wanted COVID prices on cards. Not surprised by that. That's kind of the going. That's I've heard that at many card shows, including the Madison card show. So I think we're going to see, I think card shows this, my next week's card show, I think it's going to be a dud. I shouldn't say that as a promoter, but it just, there's just no, there was a lot of buzz January through May, and now all of a sudden it's fart in church. There's a Sundayism for a fart in church. John says, I held the strikeout record in 1985 for popping the question to potential prom dates. But what's up, baseball card curmudgeon in the house? Nolan Ryan. Brian in the house. What's happening, Brian? Nolan Ryan never topped 19 Ks in a game. He did it 14. He did it 4 times. What a scrub. Didn't join the 20K club, which, by the way, there's a documentary coming out on the 20K club, which consists of Kerry Wood, Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, and Max Scherzer, I think. So Glendon Rush is one of the producers. Ryan Dempster producing it. So I'm looking forward to that. Gonna be a good show. Gonna be a really good show. Merle says he's listing some Randy Moss cards this morning. Here's something we looked up yesterday that P and I didn't know. Bonds only led the league in home runs twice. Isn't that fascinating? When was the last time you made it to a Ship Shawana card show? Well, I'll tell you what. The next time, Gassy this morning, the next time I go to a Ship Shawana show will be my first. I've never been over there. So I've heard really good things about it, but I've never been. I'm a terrible promoter because I don't go to many other shows. Like I do my show. I go to Rockford and Janesville, and that's about it. I haven't been to the Oak Creek show in like a year and a half. I've never been to the Stevens Point show. I went to Green Bay once. I've never been to Ship Shawana or the Monster. I don't even go to the Spectacular anymore. John says most of these athletes Bo is describing weight a deuce and a half with Karen hairdos now. Where are we at on the GoFundMe to replace box 13? Hey, we've moved it. Every time I lift this, I'm like, oh my God, the bottom's going to fall out. Let's see. Where are we at? Peeps in the house. What's up, Peeps? Peeps needs to make more videos. Let's see. Luis Robert is hitting 251. Not so great, but with 14 homers, which is good at this point of the season. So I would keep going on him. Peeps says, Ben in the middle of a big move from California to Minnesota. Angel Baby says that's about average. Rich, to regain his popularity, he'll need to do a bit better. Yeah, for sure. To regain hobby popularity, he's got to do something just absolutely incredible. Some must have tweeted about Beverly getting closer to birth the coyote. It's the jinx. I jinxed it. I jinxed Drew Smiley's no-hitter, and I jinxed Beverly getting her eggs eaten by raccoons. What's the deal with that eBay vault? Seems it's not that popular for lots of reasons. I don't want eBay keeping their paws on my cards, to be honest. That's why. That's why it's not popular. I don't do vaults. So I can't really speak to vaults. It's just not my thing. I want my basement to be my card vault. I don't want my cards to be in somebody else's basement. That's why my basement is my vault. But not everyone thinks like that. So, but that's how I think. So I don't use vaults. Jay, what's happening? SCR needs more hit pieces to get the hobby going. Controversy sells. Someone needs to rip Logan Paul off again. Drama sells. That's not drama. Drama sells. Drama sells. Collector's Dream says the Clearwater card show yesterday was busy. Vintage selling YouTubers, Mangini, and others were there. How big was the vintage lot you passed on? Not very big. And so I'm going to get to that here in a second. Because that's part of the reason, not the whole reason, part of the reason why I passed. John says Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young. He holds the distinction of being a great pitcher and the most overrated pitcher of all time. Junk Wax Kids. eBay is my favorite card show, says Kyle. Oh, I did make a nice I got a steal. A steal. I think I bought from this guy and it was a similar deal. So I've got to be like, hey, don't post these I'll just buy them outright. Great deal on 50 Cubs autographs. I got them for $200, $4 a pop. So he already shipped them out. So I'll get them hopefully Tuesday. So I'll put out my unboxing video of my Cubs autos. Hell of a deal. In a Facebook group. Here's how big our hobby is. Here's how big we think our hobby is. There was an advertisement on the radio for a local gun show held at the same place the Philly shows. Gun show has over 1,500 tables. Philly show, 400. This is why I only use Mercari. Harlan says Cy Young never won a Cy Young. Must not have been that good. That's right. Thanks for the nice wishes, everyone. We have a Brotherhood monthly breakfast that I'm heading to. Enjoy breakfast and your birthday, Uncle Rich. So I passed on this vintage lot yesterday. It's from a guy here locally. I've bought from him before. John says, hard-hitting question. Why would you pass on a vintage lot and not reach out to some of your vintage collecting friends that would be interested? Well, maybe it's probably still available. So I guess I can reach out to you and let you know. God dang it. For some reason, when I close out, it just keeps. Okay, so So it's a vintage lot. I don't know. It looks like there's the thumbnail to this video is basically the entire thing sprawled out. So it looks like it consists of a couple shoe boxes, a couple long boxes, and a few binders. Like 6 binders maybe. So I don't know how many cards would that be. Maybe 1,000, 2,000 cards. Oh, more than that. It might be 3,000 cards, but they're not all vintage. So, splayed out. Come on. There's some binders, and it's got like 81 Topps football, 80 Topps baseball, and then like a 75 Topps basketball, 73 Topps football, 72 Topps baseball. And I'm like, wow, if those binders are full of those cards, and I know they're going to be because I know the guy selling them, and I know he's going to cherry pick, and he's going to, he's smart about it. But there's still meat on the bone for somebody to resell. So the reason, and I might follow up and ask, because I asked a couple questions and I just kind of left it. So my main question was, like, say the 72 baseball and 73 football binders, is it all the same set or is it mixed? Because he did mention there's some junk wax in this lot as well. And then as soon as I hear that, it's like, okay, so basically my thought process is all of the good stuff is shown and everything else not shown is the junk. So basically how I look at it, and so I don't waste time going over there and looking through and not buying and, wasting a couple hours, is I'm going to count up and do an approximate. Okay, I can get this. And basically it's $500. He wants $500 for this lot. And from what I can see, and just like my knowledge, and I looked up, like, there's a Jack Ham rookie card, which sells for like $15. There's a 73 Topps Joe Namath. There's a John Hanna rookie. There's a couple Bob Uecker cards. But it's more in the volume of the vintage that I was interested in. So if there was enough volume, $500 is a good price. Now if I didn't need inventory, if I needed inventory, I would have pounced on this because I think it's a great deal for somebody. But it's not a great deal for me because there's a lot of work, and to get my $500 back, I've got to put quite a bit of, I've got to put pretty much everything on there. It's going to be kind of a slim margin, and I've got plenty of other stuff to list that I don't need more inventory at a small margin. Now, if it was $100 for this, I'd scoop it right up. But at $500, it's tough. Like, I'm looking at it, and it's going to take me time just to make my money back. Can I make money on this lot? Absolutely. Absolutely. I see a 91 Fleer box in there. I see some yellows. I see some reds, 90 Donruss. So that's the thing. If you are interested in possible, the thing is, I don't know if I can. It costs quite a bit to ship this because it's going to probably take 2 large flat rate boxes. So you're looking at an additional $50, $60 to ship it. So yeah. So my back and forth, because I just had a couple questions. Some junk era in boxes, a real mix, not his cards, selling for a friend. And then so I just asked about the binders, because if all the binders were the same, like all these are 72 Topps baseball, even if they're commons, there's enough there that I can make my money back pretty quickly. So that's why. And that's kind of what I wanted to point out is, if I didn't have this behind me and I was looking for inventory, it would be a decent haul. It's not a huge, from what I can see, it's not a huge moneymaker, $100. And to put that type of work into a bunch of $1.50 cards and a few $10 cards here and there, for me to make it worth my while, I need some bigger ticket items for that $500 price tag, like, and not even $100, but multiple $20 and $30 and $40 cards, or maybe a $50 card, or even a $100 card, just to get me faster. But when the most expensive card there is like 15, that's, it's going to take a lot of time to get there. So that's why I didn't. It's a nice lot. It's not a great resale lot. It's a decent resale lot. If you want to keep some cards for your collection, it's great. But it's just not for me at this time. Let's go into the chat. Let's see. Merle says, welcome to Minnesota. We can bring you some hot dish. Let's see. Mark says 2 Clemens, 2 McGuire's, a Gooden, and 7 Don Slots. The thing is, I have no idea why a PSA 10 is far apart in price than a PSA 9. Pretty much rarity. There's far more 9s than 10s. Let's see. Scott says, are you going to have a moving sale for your eBay store, like right before you start moving, so you have to move less perhaps? No, that would give me freaking nightmares. Because like what I'm selling, like it would, I'd be selling singles. I will be selling my a couple truckloads. I'd like to get 2 truckloads sold by the time I move. But I've got one. I've got to reach out to him today, to my buyer, and if he passes, which I think it's been a while, he might go for it. If not, I'll put it on Facebook. Let's see. Angel Baby says, the thing is, I have no idea why PSA. Oh, we already read that. Zach says, filter question when buying vintage. What do you consider vintage? I consider vintage pre-1980. Basically up to 79. How do you sell your 70 to 79 baseball comments on eBay? Do you sell in lots single? I sell them, thank you, Hux. $1.50 free shipping. Even on stars, because that's the like 60s and 70s, and especially if there's dinged corners, they don't sell well. So basically everything's $1. I mean, with exceptions, obviously, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Yastrzemski, and depending on, but for the most part, it's, $1.50. And I'm surprised by, I'll list like a 72 Topps Harmon Killebrew for like $2.50, and it just sits there. Again, not in near mint condition. So yeah, I break them out in singles. Actually, even 77, 78, 79 sell pretty well. At $1.50 free shipping. In my experience, 15 years ago, to get a 10, all you needed were clean corners and decent centering. I have the luxury of seeking collection needs first, selling second. Kyle says, I'm in that same boat. It's most enjoyable not needing to sell. Anything worth doing is worth doing for money if that is the purpose. Right on. Jay, what's happening? Good morning, all. Let's see. Peeps is old school mini. He likes his North Stars cards. John says 1980 and back is vintage if you want to appear to be, quote, in the know. Zach is heading to the Roma show, hoping to pay tax. So yeah. So that's what I had for today. Passed on the vintage. Again, it's decent lot, but just not what I need right now. I would need. So I will say before I go, I will say, what would it take for me to be interested in something like that? Say it's the same exact lot. It would have to be a fraction of the price. It'd have to be 200, like max $200 for me to buy that particular lot. Just because of the work that I have to put in to resell. Because most of it's $1.50 free shipping. It's going to sit for a while. I'll right off the bat, once listed, because it's that new shiny, ooh, Bo's got new cards in his store, boom, 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 buy. But then it just becomes stale inventory after a couple days. So it would have to be a fraction of that ask price. And so it's like, I'll pass. And I think, and we've done a couple deals before, I think it's to the point where if it doesn't sell, he might just come back around and, maybe he offers it up for a much discounted price. I don't know. So we'll see. That's what I had for today. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. My eBay store link is in the description. I've got a lot more shipping to do today. Did some more sorting yesterday. Did some. I got my 2023 Bowman pretty much finished up in sorting, so I'm going to list those basically like all first Bowman paper and some of the rookies. I'll be listing in my eBay store today with quantities, so there'll be like 25 to 30 of the first Bowmans and about 50 of the select rookie cards like Gunnar Henderson, Michael Harris, Nolan Gorman, Adley Rushman, and they'll everything $150 free shipping on the Bowmans. There might be a couple guys that will be like $2 or $2.50, but for the most part, it'll be $1.50 free shipping on those 2023s. And if you want to buy like all of them, do 99 cents a piece in a bulk deal. So that's what I had. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Before we go, Huck says, so $1.50 for commons on eBay makes you what, like 40 cents? Yes. I sell cards for $1.99, and after shipping and fees, I make 80 cents. Yep. So $1.50 free shipping for me. I'm netting usually around 35 cents, right around 35 cents. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you, peeps. Thank you, everyone else. Have a great day. Back on tomorrow morning, Monday morning, 7 a.m. Central. We'll see you then.